So this is my predictions and death predictions video for the first season of book 2. I talk about each main character, potential plot lines, what I think is going to happen in my opinion, and just general things I'd like to see, as well as my death predictions right at the end of the video. So make sure you stick around till the end. Welcome back to MovieBot and let's talk book 2. Okay, so there's a lot I want to talk about. I'm going to break it down and leave timestamps down below in the description and in the comment section. So if you want to just hear about a specific person or prediction, then this is the running order with what I'm going to be talking about. And the timestamps are down below just to make it easier for you guys. If you haven't done so already as well, make sure you smash the subscribe button. Help me reach that 10,000 subscriber mark before the end of the year. I'm going to be the go-to channel for anything Power Universe related, bringing you the most up-to-date reviews and breakdowns. But there's no better place to start than the main character Tariq. And this quote, choose wisely, it's been branded out a lot, and Tariq is going to have to choose wisely with everything when it comes to working with Monet, college, girls. Everything he does, he's going to have to choose wisely because this kid has a tendency to make mistakes. But having said that, I think he is going to be a bit more smarter in this series and a bit more wiser as well. Don't get me wrong, we will see him making mistakes, but as the show goes on, I think he will learn to appreciate how smart this kid actually is. And I think that as the show goes on as well, we'll learn to like his character. I think they'll work real hard in making us like this character, and 50 Cent even confirmed this in an interview that he did with GMA a few days ago. But my problem is, I hope they don't try and portray his character to be another Ghost, because he really isn't Ghost, and he never will be. Ghost was a character that was strategic, always liked to be one step ahead of his enemies, and he's a character that we really grew to love. But with Tariq's storylines, which I'm just going to touch on now, I think they'll take his character into a new direction. He's going to have to create a name for himself, and I don't think we'll even see or hear of Ghost's name on the streets until maybe when Monet finds out about Tariq, that Tariq is Ghost's son. Does she know that he's his son? I don't think so yet, not at first, I don't think so anyway. Tariq is going to be his own man, and he's going to try and create his own legacy. And let's not forget, it was actually Kanan who taught him the way of the streets, not Ghost. So he comes from the school of Kanan and not the school of Ghost, which is why I think Tariq will carry this show and make it his own. And I'm 100% sure he's going to be involved with Diana and even Lauren, which we see here. They're going to have a love story going on between Tariq and Diana, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a kid like Tariq being involved in a love triangle, gets himself into a bit of bother with these chicks. There was another storyline in the original Power series which I think they'll repeat as well in this show. It was when Tariq started stealing from Tommy's stash at his warehouse and started selling the pills at Choate, which is ultimately what he got expelled for. And I think they are actually going to repeat this storyline with him and Monet, and what could set up Tariq versus Kane or Tariq versus Monet. And Kane, this is one of the characters that I'm looking so forward to see. He looks like a real badass, and for him, I think he's going to be no nonsense. He'll be the real villain of this season. I think he's a character that's going to strike some fear into our boy Tariq. I mean, this sneak peek that we saw on GMA a few days ago, the way Kane deals with this other guy, you can see how shook Tariq actually looks. And I definitely think that they're going to set it up for later on in the series where we'll see Tariq versus Kane, and it could set up through, I don't know, maybe Tariq breaking Diana's heart along with stealing either product or money or cutting corners with Monet somehow. Either way, I think this is a storyline to look out for, and I'm predicting we see a showdown between these two eventually. And I'm going to talk about death predictions as well for Tariq, Kane, and the rest of the characters as well at the end of the video. I'm going to come to that as soon as I've spoken about all the storylines and predictions I think will be playing out in the first season, so make sure you stick around till the end. I'll talk death predictions then. But this next bit, I'm only going to touch on this briefly because I've spoken about it in a couple of my previous videos on Saxe, so if you haven't seen them, then I'll leave a link to them in the description and in the comment section. But I definitely think we'll see a storyline where instead of him being on Ghost's ass, he's going to jump onto the next closest thing, which is Tariq. And with Saxe being all over Tariq, this is going to bring some unwanted cop attention that Monet will not be happy about. And we already know that Monet is going to be one who's no nonsense, commands respect, and in this clip that we get from GMA, she steps outside, and the minute she steps outside, she handles the situation and she looks like she strikes fear into people. But I'm not going to go too much into detail about her character because I've done this in these two videos here, so I'll leave a link to them in the description and in the comment section. I want to talk more about storylines, plot, and mainly predictions. And one which we could see a storyline involving Diana and Kane. It's quite obvious that Lorenzo Tejada isn't their father of Monet's kids, and could we see something crop up in the first season where we find out that the parents of these kids are either Kanan or Ghost? I mean, We know how from the original show of Power that Kanan loves sleeping around as well, so could this have happened before the world of Power began, or even potentially Ghost? So could that even be a possible reason that she's so shocked in this scene when she opens the envelope that she got from Shalim Ortiz? Could she realize that Ghost is Tariq's dad, or links possibly to Kanan, or even be Tasha's stepsister for example? So I think there is a link to the St. Patrick's in some way or another, and that's why she looks so shook. I mean, I did reference to Breeze in this video, and whether the show will connect her to Breeze, I mean, having her thought about it again, I'm not sure if that storyline is dead and they'll resurrect it again. I'm leaning towards the connection between the St. Patrick's, which actually makes logical sense. But having a connection to Breeze would make for a great storyline though, if they did do this, because it's just a way of them connecting the whole Power universe again, because we're so intrigued to see who Breeze is. Well, I know I am. I mean, I think we're all waiting for that moment to see who Breeze is in Power Book 3 Raising Kanan. So they could possibly use this as an opportunity to build it up even more. As I said, just a connection to the whole Power universe and link Power Book 2 to Power Book 3. And it would make total sense to do that just to keep the audience interested in Kanan's spin-off, to build a character up everybody's waiting to see. But if you were to put me on the spot and ask me what do I think is in the envelope, I think it's a connection between the St. Patrick's. Maybe she knows Tasha from before the world of Power, or maybe she knows Ghost. It's going to be something along those lines. And speaking of Tasha and the St. Patrick's, I definitely think we're going to be seeing Tasha a lot. Mind you, she will be playing a secondary figure to Tariq. I think Tariq will be getting a lot more airtime than Tasha, that's for sure. I think the first season will be heavily centered on Tariq, but it doesn't mean we won't get to see Tasha in prison and a lot of scenes of Tasha in prison. I predict we'll see her struggling with her prison life. She's gonna have two sides to her. She's gonna have a side to her where she's alone, she's gonna find it real tough. But when she's out in the courtyard with other inmates, I think that's when we're going to see the tough side to Tasha. And I definitely think we'll see her making some enemies in prison, but she's going to make some connections as well. And I don't think we'll see her being released from prison until maybe the back end of the season, because I think the season is going to be all about character development for people like Monet, Kane and Tariq, because they've got a lot of rebuilding to do for Tariq's character especially, which will take a while, but I think they will get there. So if we see Tasha coming out at the back end of the season, there has to be a showdown between Tasha and Monet. And I've already released a video on this, so I won't go into it in too much detail. I'll leave a link to that video in the description and in the comment section. But with Tasha and Monet, if there is a link between the two, then we won't see it being played out till the very end, I think. I think they'll keep us in suspense throughout the whole season, just waiting for this moment where Tasha and Monet finally meet up and come face to face. Are they going to be working together, or are they going to be enemies? Well, there can only be one queenpin. And the character who plays Tasha, Notori Norton, she did an interview just a few days ago talking all things Power, and she did say the world of Power is so fast paced, they can pop any character out of nowhere and they're dead. So with that being said, let's talk death predictions. But first, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, help me reach my target of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and give this video a like and a thumbs up as well. Now, one character I think is safe this season is Tariq. There's no way they're going to kill him off in this season, not in the first season anyway. I think his sins will catch up to him eventually, maybe in a few seasons time. But I think he's the only one we can say who's safe guaranteed, because Book 2 is pretty much centered around Tariq. They need him if Book 2 is going to be a success, so I'm ruling that one out before we even get kicked off with the first episode. But Tariq, who is he going to kill? That's the big question. And now first, for the first half of the season, I don't think we'll see him come near to pulling the trigger and killing anyone, because he's going to be living two lives, the street life and the college life, because he'll have Cooper Saxe on his ass. I think he'll be a little smarter about his moves this time around, but I definitely think that as the season goes on and as the show goes on, it will get darker, and that's when we'll see action from Tariq. There's a lot of new characters, so I can't be sure who he's going to pop just yet, but I think come towards the back end of the season, that's when he's going to increase his kill count. But one guy who has the writing on the wall for him is Saxe. I don't know how many lives this guy has. I mean, he's lucky that Tommy and Ghost didn't put him down in the original Power series. He's a character I kind of love to hate, but I think his time is up this time around. But saying that, I've had a look at IMDb and he's going to be featuring in all 10 episodes. So could he be killed off in the season finale as a way of him solving Ghost's murder, finding out that Tariq was the one who killed Ghost, and just as he's just about to blow the whistle on Tariq, Tariq comes up right behind him, puts a gun to his forehead and pulls the trigger. Now that would be a way to go out for Saxe, and going another step further for us to liking Tariq's character as well. So Saxe, he's definitely on my death list for the first season. Tasha, I'm not so sure. I think she's safe just about, because as I said before, the first season will be pretty much taken up with her in prison, so I think she'll be coming to the forefront of things in season 2 with or versus Monet, so I think she's safe just about. but there's no way that she makes it out of season 2. I think she's getting popped one way or another in season 2, and that's it, literally Tariq versus the world. But let's see what they make of her character when she does come out of prison. I don't think there's space for Tasha and Monet, and that's the reason I'm saying it. It's one or the other, and I don't think they'll get rid of Monet just yet. She's going to be a character and a villain that we love to hate, and she's going to be a big draw for the audience. There are other characters like Method Man, Braden, Drew, Lauren, Kane and Diana. I'm not even going to attempt to give my prediction on these characters yet. I don't think all of them will make it out of season 1 alive, but we need to see what they're all about and where their storyline takes them. But you can bet I'll be doing another death predictions video sometime during the series once we know where they're taking these characters and when we know a little bit more about the storyline as well. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I want to know your comments, theories, predictions, any death predictions. Drop them down in the comment section below. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you smash the subscribe button. Help me reach my target of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.